I overheard my girlfriend say, "He's going to propose tonight. Watch me say no and make him cry." I still took her to the rooftop, got down on one knee, then pulled out her text with her gym buddy and said loudly, "Actually, I'm not proposing, I'm here to say goodbye, in front of everyone you tried to impress." The whole place went silent, then applauded. I overheard my girlfriend say, "He's going to propose tonight. Watch me say no and make him cry." I still took her to that rooftop, got down on one knee, but instead of pulling out a ring, I pulled out her text with the guy from her gym and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "I'm not here to propose. I'm here to say goodbye, right in front of all the people you were trying to impress." The place went dead silent, and then the crowd started clapping. Hey folks, before we dive in deeper, just a quick shout out. Over 14% of you are already subscribed, and honestly, that means the world to me. If you're new around here and you're into these kinds of stories, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're pushing for 10,000, and your support keeps it going. So yeah, this all went down last Friday night. And honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Never thought I'd be the guy sharing one of these stories, but here we are. I'd been with my girlfriend Brianna for just over a year and a half, a year and 8 months to be exact. I'm 27, she's 25. Things had seemed great between us, and I was starting to get serious about our future together. I'd even started checking out rings, planning to propose on our 2-year anniversary. But funny how life likes to throw you a curveball just when you think you've got it all figured out. It was Thursday afternoon when I stopped by her apartment to drop off some groceries. Just some stuff I'd picked up for her because I knew she'd been busy. I had a key, so I let myself in. She wasn't home, or so I thought. Then I heard her voice coming from the bedroom. The door was wide open, and she was on the phone, talking pretty loud. I froze when I heard her say, "I'm telling you, Chloe, he's definitely going to propose soon. He's been acting super weird and secretive lately." I stopped right there in the hallway. She was talking about me. She went on, "Girl, you should see how nervous he gets whenever a jewelry commercial comes on. It's so obvious." Now, I should have made some noise, let her know I was there. But I didn't. Curiosity got the better of me. I just stood there, listening. And then she dropped this bomb. "Honestly, I don't even know if I want to marry him. He's sweet and all, but I don't know if he's really husband material, you know?" My stomach turned. She kept going. "Plus, I've been talking to Dante from the gym, and he's just more exciting. Like, he actually has ambition. Real goals." Dante. Her personal trainer. Yeah, she'd been spending way more time at the gym lately. Then she said, "What if Jake actually proposes? Like gets down on one knee and everything?" Chloe told her, "You better not say yes if you're not feeling it." Brianna laughed. "Oh, I'm definitely saying no. I'm just deciding whether I want to do it quietly or go big with it." Chloe asked what she meant, and Brianna said, "Well, if he does it somewhere public, it could be the perfect moment to really hit him with it. Super awkward for him, right?" Chloe sounded uneasy. "Brianna, that's kinda harsh." "I know," she said. "But maybe he needs that wake-up call. He just assumes I'll say yes to everything. Maybe it's time he learned that I won't." "So, you'd actually say no in front of a crowd?" Brianna replied. "Chloe, I'm serious. It would be perfect. Watch me say no and make him cry in front of everyone. Then maybe he'll realize he can't just coast through a relationship." They both burst out laughing. I didn't say a word. Just quietly dropped the groceries off on the kitchen counter and headed back to my car. I sat there in the parking lot for a good 20 minutes, just trying to process what the hell I'd just heard. This woman I'd been with for nearly 2 years, she was planning to humiliate me. Not only was she talking to another guy, but she was actually excited about the idea of making me break down in public, like that was going to teach me a lesson or something. That night, Brianna was all smiles. Same as usual. Acting affectionate, holding my hand, telling me how much she loved being with me. "Jake," she said, "you're seriously the best boyfriend. I'm so lucky to have you. Meanwhile, all I could hear in my head was her voice laughing, planning how she'd make me cry. The next morning, while she was in the shower, her phone lit up on the nightstand with a message from Dante. It said, "Can't wait to see you tonight. This is gonna be fun." Her phone wasn't locked. I didn't even think about it. I just picked it up and opened their chat. Dante had sent, "So tonight's the night your boy makes his move?" Brianna replied, "That's the plan. Chloe's cousin got us into that new rooftop spot. Perfect setup for Mac's embarrassment." Dante wrote, "You're evil." "I love it," she responded. "He needs to understand that just because we've been dating doesn't mean I owe him a yes." Dante sent back, "Can't wait to comfort you afterward." And she said, "I'm sure you will." I took screenshots of the whole thread and texted them to myself. Then I deleted the messages from her phone so she wouldn't know I'd seen them. There were more messages, going back weeks. While they hadn't crossed a physical line, at least not from what I could see, it was definitely emotional cheating. They were talking late at night, making plans to hang out alone, talking about their connection. That afternoon, she called me while I was still at work. She sounded super cheerful. "Jake, you'll never guess, Chloe's cousin works at that new rooftop bar downtown." "You mean the one with the crazy good view of the city?" "Yeah. She can get us in tonight. I know it's last minute, but I really want to go. All my friends are gonna be there." So this was it. She was putting the final touches on the big show, the moment she'd get to embarrass me. "Sure, babe," I said. "Sounds like fun." "Wait, really? You're not too tired?" "Not at all. Let's go." "Yay. This is gonna be such a great night." I spent the rest of the day figuring out how I was going to play it. I could pull her aside and talk to her privately, but she'd probably deny everything or start spinning it with some excuse. I could bail, just not show up. But that wouldn't really solve anything either. Just delay the fallout. Or I could flip the script and give her exactly the kind of moment she wanted, only not the way she expected. That night, I picked her up at 7. She looked incredible, which honestly made this all 10 times harder. "Jake, you look great," she said with a smile. "Ready for a fun night?" "Absolutely," I told her, trying to keep my voice steady. The rooftop bar was busy, but not overly crowded, the kind of lively where you can still hear yourself think. The vibe was solid, chill music, soft lighting, and an absolutely stunning view of the city lights stretching across the skyline. Brianna immediately lit up when we arrived. She started waving at people like she owned the place. "There's Chloe. And Riley's here too, oh, and some folks from my gym." That's when I saw him, Dante. Big guy, muscular build, arms covered in tattoos, wearing a snug shirt that left nothing to the imagination. He gave Brianna a subtle nod, then looked right at me. The look on his face? Pure smugness, like he was in on some private joke I wasn't supposed to catch. We grabbed some drinks and mingled with the group. Brianna was introducing me to everyone like I was just some guy she'd brought along for the night. "This is Jake. He's great," she said. "Not my boyfriend Jake. Not Jake, who I'd been with for almost 2 years. Just Jake. Like I was some dude she liked enough to not leave at home." By around 10 p.m., I could tell she was getting restless. She kept scanning the crowd, checking her phone every few minutes. "Jake, isn't this place amazing?" she asked, trying to sound casual. "It's so romantic, with the lights and the view." I nodded. "Yeah, it's beautiful. Like the kind of place something big might happen." She was practically buzzing with excitement at that point, completely convinced I was about to hand her the stage for her grand little performance. "You know what, Brianna?" I said, turning to her. "You're right. This is the perfect spot for something special." Her whole face lit up. "Seriously?" "Yeah," I said, keeping my tone calm. "Actually, I've been planning to do something here tonight." "Oh my God, really?" Her eyes were wide with fake surprise. I could feel the attention starting to shift around us. Her friends had started watching, picking up on our energy. Chloe had already pulled out her phone, no doubt thinking she was about to catch my rejection on camera. Could you get everyone's attention? I asked Brianna. There's something I want to say. Of course, she said, clearly thrilled. Chloe, Riley, everybody, come over here. She was practically bouncing in her heels as people began gathering. Around 15 people formed a loose semicircle around us. I noticed Dante stepping in closer, grinning like he was watching a reality show unfold in real time. Once I had their attention, I slowly got down on one knee. Brianna gasped and covered her mouth, classic dramatic surprise. Her friends were already squealing. Everyone assumed I was about to propose. Brianna, I said loud and clear, making sure every single person heard me. Yes, Jake, she answered, playing along like it was all going according to plan. But instead of pulling out a ring, I pulled out my phone. I'm not here to propose, I said flatly. Her face twisted from joy to confusion in half a second. I'm actually here to say goodbye, right here in front of everyone you wanted to impress. The crowd went still. You could hear a pin drop. What are you talking about? She asked, her voice shaky. I stood up and held out my phone so others could see it. Yesterday, I overheard you telling Chloe how you were planning to turn me down and make me cry, right here, in public. You thought it would be funny. People shifted uncomfortably. Some looked at Brianna, others glanced at Dante. The tension was thick. Jake, what are you doing? She asked, her voice barely a whisper now. I'm giving you the public moment you wanted, just not the version you were expecting. I scrolled through my screenshots. Can't wait to see you tonight. This is going to be fun. I read aloud. The crowd murmured. A few faces turned toward Dante. Perfect setting for maximum embarrassment. Chloe's expression fell. Brianna, is this real? I kept reading. You're evil. I love it. The crowd was visibly uncomfortable now. Whispering started. People were piecing it together. Jake, please stop, Brianna said, her voice trembling. You were excited about humiliating me, I said loud and clear. You thought I deserved it for assuming you might say yes if I proposed. Well, now they all get to see what you were really planning. Let's talk about this in private, she begged. Why? You weren't interested in privacy when you were plotting a public takedown. Why change now? That's not what I meant. He needs to learn that just because we've been together doesn't mean I owe him a yes. I read from her messages. People were starting to frown at her now. Brianna, Chloe said, visibly shaken. You actually said all that? It's taken out of context, Brianna replied, panicked. What kind of context makes that sound okay? Riley chimed in. Dante tried to step back, but the group wasn't letting him slip away unnoticed. And Dante here, I added, was all too eager to swoop in and comfort you after the big rejection. That's not what that meant, Brianna protested weakly. An older guy in the crowd looked right at me and said, Good for you, man. No one deserves to be played like that. Others nodded. A few clapped quietly. Brianna, I said, we're done. You wanted to reject me in public? Well, here's my answer. In front of everyone, I'm rejecting you. Jake, I wasn't really going to do it. She tried. I was just venting. You planned this whole night. You brought Dante here. You arranged everything. That's not true. The screenshots say otherwise. Anyone can see them. Chloe stepped forward, guilt all over her face. Brianna, I told you this was a bad idea. I didn't think you'd actually go through with it. Chloe, stop. No, she said. This is seriously messed up. Jake's been good to you. People in the group were nodding. A few started clapping again, louder this time. Dante finally spoke. Yo, this is too much for me. I'm out. Dante, wait! Brianna called, but he was already heading for the exit, clearly not interested in being part of her unraveling show anymore. Brianna looked around at the stunned faces. Then the tears started. Jake, please. I messed up. I love you. You love me? I said. Was that before or after you made plans to humiliate me in front of everyone? I was just confused. No, Brianna. You weren't confused. You were cruel. And now you're caught. I looked around one last time. Thanks for your time, everyone. Have a good night. More clapping followed as I turned to leave. Not everyone joined in, but enough did to make the point. I headed toward the exit. Behind me, I heard her crying. Jake, wait! Don't leave like this. How else should I leave? I asked, turning briefly. After you publicly planned to reject my proposal, how would you suggest I walk away? I wouldn't have gone through with it. I changed my mind. No, the only thing you changed is the belief that you wouldn't get caught. She tried to follow me into the elevator, but I put my hand up to stop her. Don't. We're finished. Jake, please. But the elevator doors shut. I drove home in silence, trying to make sense of everything that had just happened. My phone buzzed nonstop with messages from people who were there. Dude, that was wild. She had it coming. You handled that like a champ. You alright, man? By Saturday morning, I'd woken up to a string of missed calls from Brianna. Text after text, all saying the same thing. Jake, I'm so sorry. I was being stupid. Please, just talk to me. She texted. We can work this out. I'll stop talking to Dante. I'll even switch gyms. Just don't throw everything away over one mistake. I didn't reply. Not a single word. Around noon that day, Chloe called me. Jake, I owe you an apology. You really don't owe me anything. I said. No, I do, she insisted. I should have said something. I knew what she was planning and I still went along with it. I didn't think she'd actually go through with it. She made her own choices. That's not on you. I still feel awful, she said. She's been crying nonstop since last night. But, honestly, what she was trying to do was straight up cruel. How's she holding up? Not well, Chloe admitted. She keeps going on about how you ruined her reputation. I didn't ruin a thing. I told her. I just held up a mirror and let everyone see what she was up to. There was a pause, then Chloe asked, Can I ask you something personal? Sure. Were you actually thinking about proposing? I was getting there, I admitted. I'd started shopping for a ring. Not seriously yet, but I was getting close. Good thing I found out who she really was before I wasted any more time. She really screwed this up, Chloe said quietly. You seem like a genuinely good guy. Thanks, Chloe. That means a lot. Sunday came, and I went back to the jewelry store to return the ring I'd been eyeing. I hadn't bought it yet, just had it on hold. I let the clerk know I wouldn't be needing it after all. Then Monday rolls around, and out of nowhere, I get a text from Dante. Hey man, no hard feelings about Friday night. Your girl was a lot of drama anyway. I stared at the screen for a second, then replied, She's not my girl anymore. He texted back, Yeah, she's a handful. We're not a thing either if that makes you feel better. Too much drama for me. So there it was, Brianna managed to lose both of us in the span of a single weekend. Impressive, really. It's been about 2 weeks now, and honestly, I'm doing better than I expected. Actually, I'm doing great. This whole mess taught me something important. Sometimes the best way to handle someone who's setting you up to fall is to expose the setup before they get the chance to follow through. Brianna was all set to humiliate me in public, to turn a proposal into a punchline. But instead, she ended up being the one on display. She carefully planned the perfect scene to embarrass me, and I just flipped the script. Same setting, different lead. In the days after, a few people who were there that night reached out to check on me. Turns out, most decent folks don't enjoy watching someone treat their partner like a joke for attention. Brianna's been trying to get messages to me through mutual friends. I've ignored them all. The truth is, if someone's capable of plotting that kind of humiliation for someone who genuinely cared about them, they don't belong anywhere near my life. She said she wanted to teach me a lesson. teach me not to take her for granted. But what she really taught me was how to spot when someone doesn't deserve the effort, love, or respect I was giving them. And sometimes, the best revenge is letting people drown in the spotlight they tried to throw on you.